No, he's gonna video.
Or the video. You know, I'm just saying that's the time critical thing, because if it starts to swell up, it'll...
Why does it swell up?
Well, because she's hitting it a lot, or what she calls hamburgering. And we have to get the effect that when we've discussed it, to get the effect we want in 2 weeks when this comes up. It takes a real light touch to avoid any damage, or, you don't want anything approaching us.
I have a very light touch. Very smooth.
And, if the artist was a good artist but wasn't the same hand, I definitely would be going with a different technique of what we want and a different color. She's actually on exactly what I wanted, so, I mean, I can't say enough good stuff about that. I don't have to compromise based on the art. Because sometimes you have a real good idea for a tattoo. You want to put it over a piece of bone. Most tattooists will not tattoo on fingers and other sensitive areas.
I'm just wiping.
And
because it's running down your leg.
Yeah. So
you might want to get a good close-up photo of that too.
Well, I got to show the video off to get a photo. I'd rather continue videotaping.
Well, continue videotaping.
Yeah, and as I pointed out earlier to her, because this is our shadowy side, the sun direction is here, that's why we have a brighter yellow coming in here, fading into the orange sunset there. So we're still following that point of light this direction.
Did you ask for that? Was that a special thing you asked for?
Yeah, once we started on the shading, that's when I said, look, this is your point of light here, so do this, shade there. And then when she got to the color, she goes, okay, well, this side is going to be the light side because that's where the sun's coming from, but it'll be very subtle. We're trying for a really kind of realistic look for this kind of piece. It's a very simple line drawing, basically, that's coming alive. It looks like the embroidered patch, and it has little accents of, an organic thing like the variances in the cactus.
If you touched it right now, would you hurt it, damage it, or anything?
I wouldn't do it because if you press down, you can push ink out of the pores. It's a little, just picture a little bubble of ink and the little hole, like they show hair follicles. And if I press down on it, I'll tend to push more ink out of the hole. And we want to get it down deep in the low layers, because as your skin grows up and sloughs off, if it's not starting out low, it'll blow out so much. So there's a reason why I wouldn't touch it, and I'd be very gentle. You'll notice she very gently blots. She'll give a good pressure like this because she needs to clear it, but you'll very rarely see her put a lot of pressure this way because it pushes the ink out of the pores.
I try not to push at all.
Yeah, and that also goes for your post-tattoo prep. Gently rubbing with a warm face cloth and trying not to put pressure on it for that reason. And if you also start bleeding in the healing process, the scabs will leave little white spots if they get too hard. So gently, just back and forth, warm face cloth, put on the ointment that your tattoo artist recommends, and always follow their post-care procedure. It may be different because of the inks. So no matter what I say, whoever's doing it knows what works best on the post-healing part.
What are you doing?
I'm actually cleaning the gun. That's how you clean your gun. At the end of the evening, or at the end of the client, always clean your gun. This is your source of income. If you lose this, it's done.
Holly, have you ever seen a tattoo artist pick up a clawed needle like that, keep hitting the floor pedal, and actually burn out his coils? I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, I don't stay steady with it.
Oh no,
I stop.
This is just for the other people, you know. It's like while you're mentioning another reason why you clean it, you can burn out your coils real easy if you space it.
And if you're doing more work on the same client, you can sterilize your own needles. Rub an alcohol.
The same client, that's fine.
But that's only for the same client. That's not for every client.
If she put aside 4 or 5 of the needles she's using now because she didn't use them much and they're so sharp, usually they have even little separate alcohol containers like the old glass cigar tubes I know a guy used, and they keep alcohol with your name on it, and that's perfectly fine. Other people prefer disposables, but they're a little bit clumsy to a lot of artists, or autoclaved. There's a lot of things going on, but if your tattoo artist says, do you mind if I keep your needles, they'll be in their own test tube or something with your name on it, and they never mix them up. Then they keep in a little test tube rack, like Remember the cigars that used to come in the glass tube?
Oh, yeah.
They're exactly the right size for tattooing needles. The right length.
How are you done for tonight? Are you done?
Yeah.
Well, I want to see the wipe.
Yeah, it'll photograph. She'll wipe it down. She'll put the first layer of ointment on it or Vaseline, and then rub it down lightly. Take a great picture, and then add a little more Vaseline. It'll look really cool then.
And then you're done.
For tonight, yeah, we're gonna wait for the healing so we can.
So in other words,
border.
this isn't the finished product.
No, we got to just do the border and touch up. But because of the colors that are in the border and the orange, remember I said if you mix two, you sometimes get an unexpected third color. Holly already knows that if we do the border in the color we're using, while this is still wet, they'll merge and you'll get blurry. So we wait 2 weeks or so, let this set and heal, and then it won't do that. She'll go around with the particular olive drab, green brown that we're using. And so often there are things you're sitting to go, I need to wait 2 weeks. That's why I have several going. We need to wait 2 weeks for this one. So I said, okay, let's get this one going. And if I want to get another one started, I've already contracted Holly to do a couple of different pieces. So we can actually keep working almost continually based on my schedule and allow this time in between. But sometimes if your artist says you need to let that heal, don't argue with them. They know what they're doing or else they're out of business. Bad tattoo artists get out of the field real quick or have to travel around so much. It's most artists are willing to go the extra mile to make sure they keep their reputation. It's hugely important in this field. It's a small field. One person screws up, they'll hear about it on the West Coast by a week later.
Because I don't need these to wipe it off.
Right. And I don't know if you were there, Holly. I said.
What was that?
I stepped on my.
No, what is that thing? Show me.
Oh, that's the foot pedal.
Where is it?
Right here. See the foot pedal?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's get close up with my gun. Hold on. Watch the end of the
foot.
Oh, I know. Watch. Ready?
Go up and down, Holly. Off and on, yeah. See?
Are you gonna wipe it?
Yeah. What I said to him was, after you put the Vaseline off, wipe it down, take a good picture, and then we can put the right amount of Vaseline on there. And we're using Vaseline for a couple of reasons. Normally they'll go straight to the A&D ointment or whatever the preferable thing is. Because we were so heavy in this and hamburgery, yeah, the first wipe with Vaseline's not going to be a problem and probably protect it a little better than the A&D cream, which absorbs into your skin. So for this one, because we were deep, Vaseline would probably be my choice.
What are you spraying that with?
That's just it's dial soap.
Yeah, she's washing off the excess ink and any traces of the carbon paper flash.
See, it's got some black ink left over from it's when my gun sprayed.
Right. And if people are noticing the little lines here, the whole plan was to make this realistic like an army patch. So I told her that the lines that go this way are where they sew the patch onto the uniform. So she'll do us a really nice embroidery thing here. But if it has a couple of lines on the outside, it actually, it goes to realism on a subconscious level.
Oh, I want to see you put the Vaseline on.
Okay, well, you gotta give me a second.
Also, too, don't be too worried if your tattoo artist makes a mistake. There were several times during both of these where she goes, oh, I wanted to do this, and then we take a look, and suddenly, that's how the Cactus got all shaded. She was a little wide on one area, and she goes, it looks like shadow. I said, yeah, if you add a little more here, and here, and that really, so even the bloopers, 2/3 of the time turn into something really cool. And every tattoo's different, people. If you want perfection, go get your photograph taken. All right, every piece, even if they're using the same design and the same flash, every piece is an original. And that means the shortcomings.
All right, we done? Filming?
For tonight?